All right, everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back in the garage here, working on this old Pontiac a little bit, and we'll see what else, I'm not sure. So what I'm gonna do first thing I'm gonna start on is I cleaned up. We're pretty tidy here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by building a battery box. So this fella's gonna live in the trunk because that's the only place I got room for it. So got an old battery here, and I measured it up. So I'm going to bend some of the steel. I'm going to put some bends. I'm going to put some dimple dies in it just to make it look cool because it kind of be in the trunk. You'll see it. So I've determined that about 13 inches by 9 inches high will be lots. So, which is good because I'm running out of this metal, but we'll have enough, I think. I got this chunk, so I'm going to go ahead and mark out some. Got another little chunk here. I might have another little bit in the shed if I need be too. We'll go ahead and start with this. I'm going to make two pieces 13 by 9, and then it gives me enough room to bend the ends, because what I'm going to do is with this stuff is I'm going to bead roll it a bit to give it some rigidity and to make it look good too. So, but I'm going to bend it and I'm going to spot weld it together, kind of like what I did with that the tunnel and stuff, just to give it that look. So anyways, that's the plan. So I'll cut out a couple pieces. I'll get my bender and my bead roller, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. But I won't show you cutting this out because it's boring, unless you guys like watching sparks. And if that's the case, comment, and I'll film myself making lots of sparks. That's no problem at all. So, but anyways, mark this and cut it out, and we'll be in business. All right, so I got two pieces here. What I got to do is, so if my calculations are correct, I left an inch for each end to bend over, so it's 2 inches longer than it needs to be. I want to bead roll this, so I'm going to go in 2 inches from the end, 1 inch from the bottom. Then I have to just quickly decide how thick I want my lid so that I compensate for that as well and make that bead roll. And this is going to bead roll a little dent in the side. And that'll decide, anyway, so that when you look at it from the side, you'll see a bead roll of 1 inch around the whole thing. I'm going to make the lid 1 inch lid, so I'll go down 2 inches, and then that makes it easy. So, like I said, we'll just quickly mark out 2 inches. And then I'll take my little ruler, my little fancy my little Samona, and we'll trace this out a little bit here. Whammo. Oh, that's 2 inches. I should have just, I always forget stuff like that. This baby 2 inches thick, so you just line up the edge and do it. But so we're gonna do that anyways, because it's easy. And whammo, and one more. And then, if you guys see me bead roll in the past, I take a WD-40 can, and that's what I use almost every time to make my little rounded corners. Something for that little fella to follow. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There. And there. Okay, so there you go. So that'll be bead rolled. I'll copy it on that one. And then, I'm going to mark out, just because, mark out where I'm going to bend it. And that's where the bends are going to be. Okay, so I'll mark out this other one, and then I'm also going to figure out the end pieces and maybe the lid, but we'll see. Figure that out before I bead roll, because then I can just go to town bead rolling. But anyways, we'll get this marked out and we'll continue on. Okay, so I got some of these cut out. I am going to be short a bit, actually, turns out. So I'll have to get another little piece of that to continue on tomorrow. But I'm going to show you guys something that I've that I'm going to fix once and for all. I got my little table here that I use all the time with my vise and stuff, but here's my issue. Got this all the time. I've tried, I jam a screwdriver under. I was just fighting with that sucker. So I'm going to fix it once and for all. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to drill holes through the 2 feet that are high. And I'm going to put some bolts. I'm going to drill and tap holes. I'm going to put some bolts in, some jacking screws. Then I can adjust this so that it doesn't wobble anytime. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'll, like I said, I've fought with this thing for years. It just never just occurred to me to just fix it. So that's what I'm going to do quick before I put my bead roller on, because when you're rolling that bead, you're rolling it, and that thing is wobbling and jiggling. It's a pain in the butt, to say the least. So we'll get this fixed once and for all. All right, so there, that is going to be, that makes me happy. Such little things make a person happy, just make your life easier. So anyways, pretty happy about that. And now let's get that bead roller up on here and do some bead rolling. All right, everyone, I'm all rigged up here. I'll get one set up. The dies are already, they're already what I want from last time, so we're good there. Just have to set it up now. Get that little fella down, get that close, and then get my light right where I want it. We'll go 1 1/4. We'll see what happens there. 1 1/4. All right. See what this looks like. 1 1/4. Whoa, I always forget to do that. And what I said I always forget is I leave the handle, stop here, and when I crack it loose, it always goes whir and runs it through. But anyways, that's that. We're looking good. So we'll go ahead and do these other 3 pieces I got. I said I will have to grab some more after work tomorrow just to finish up. I need enough to do one more end and something with the lid there. So, but this has got enough to get this, and we'll clean it up, and we can go ahead and bend these. I'll show you guys, bend them up and get them ready to install. Could actually even partly put them together, but we'll see. I'll get these bent, and then we'll take a look from then on. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 long ones. Remember, I marked them where I want to bend them. We're going to do that. Get them on them marks. And then, that guy's already. All right, let's bend a 90 into that baby. There. I'm just gonna for funsies. Oh yeah, that's plenty close enough. And then we'll do the same over here. 90. There. One. Number 2. Now, these will basically go like that. I'm gonna punch some holes in here, and we'll make it look good. We'll make some spot welds, and like I said, make it the way we got to make it. So yeah, so that's the plan. So I only have one, so I can do the one for now, and then we'll have to deal with the other ones tomorrow after work. Okay, so I got these 3 pieces cleaned up pretty nice. So I took my DA sander, you can see, kind of polished them up and stuff, made them look good. And then what else I did was, let's get out of here. So I went ahead and drilled a bunch of holes to kind of spot weld it. Like I said, like I did with that center console. So we'll spot weld these together kind of like this, and that'll look good. And if I do a good job spot welding it, it'll look nice, look real sharp. So anyways, that's the plan. So tomorrow after work, we'll have more material, and we can build that other piece, and we'll build the top too. So what I might do tonight yet is go ahead, I might cut out, I'm going to need a base. So basically I'm going to take something a little thicker, just a little thicker material, cut a base that fits this, plus protrudes, I'll make it look nice, protrudes a little so I can bolt it down. That's going to be the plan. And then I'll bolt it down with some button heads, and it'll look sharp. So that's the plan. I might do that tonight, but then that's it for this evening, and we'll be back out here after work, hopefully getting this thing whipped up. Yeah, I think I said if I do a good job, it'll look sharp. I'll show you guys. If you don't remember, you can see how the cross member section here, I'll show you guys. Get a little close up. You can see how kind of that turned out. Really happy with that. It looks good when it's bare metal, and that's like that. So that's going to be planned with that. Enough. I chatter on sometimes, but it's all good. I'll see you guys tomorrow after work. Okay, everyone. I've been out here working for a while. I went ahead and got the other, because I got some more material. I got some more plates. So we got the other one made for the end cap, and I also went ahead and made the beginning of a lid. So I don't know what they call them. I think they call them like a finger brake, where you can remove sections so that you can do compound bends. So that would have been awesome for this. I don't have that, so I couldn't bend the end into that, right? You know, if you had the right thing, you could put it and then you could bend the end, but I don't have that. So this is how I got to do it. So then what I'm going to do to make it kind of match is I'll build end pieces, and then I'll spot weld them like I'm going to do with this to kind of make it match. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to move these over to the welder and spot weld them, get them all welded together. And the other thing I went ahead and did too is I made the base plate. This might be hard to envision, but not really. So essentially the box, once it's done, will sit on here, and it will cover everything except for these little tabs. So that box will cover everything except for the tabs, and then I'll weld it up nice, and these will be the bolt down tabs, and we'll use some nice button heads, and it'll look good. And then that box will sit it'll be on top of that. So that's the plan. So get over to that welder, get this formed into a box, and then I think I'll go ahead and get it tacked to the plate, because that'll hold it all square and true. And then we can work on finishing up this lid. And I got to put in some battery hold downs inside, something to hold the battery into the box, and then something to hold the lid on as well. So we'll make up something there, but first things first. Okay, so we got this baby welded to the base. Pretty happy with how that turned out. That'll look pretty good. And so basically I just welded around the inside there, you can see. And we got the lid, and that'll go something like that. Like that. And then we'll have some attachment points here or something. That's why I kind of did that, just to make it kind of look like it belongs. And then what I think I'm going to do, though, is to keep that lid nice and symmetrical and even, I'm going to go ahead and weld ends in, just to make some little strips. I'm going to weld them in and smooth them out, make them look as much like this as I can, kind of like that console, or that, not console, the transmission hump that I did there, so for the shifter. So I'll do this kind of the same thing. So I am going to go ahead and weld them in, and then we'll see if we can get some anchors and stuff, some battery mount in there, something to hold the battery down, and something to hold that lid on, and then we're kind of done that. And we'll clean it up, and I think if it looks good, I'm happy with it. I'll clean that baby up, and I'll put some, probably just clear coat or something. But anyways, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and weld something in there. So we'll get some strips cut, and we'll be in business. All right, everyone, I got this baby welded up. Let me show it to you. So there we go. We capped them ends, ground it all kind of smooth. It looks pretty symmetrical, or pretty even. I mean, the rolled ones are a little rounder, but that's okay. And then we got the box here, and whammo, there we go. So really happy how this is turning out. There's that. So there's the box. So now I got to do, I got to go ahead and on the inside, I got to make some anchors to hold the battery down. And then I do have to make something to hold the lid down. I'll do something there too. But first things first, I just had an idea. But all I'm going to do for that is, I'll show you guys here, the little strap of metal here. Basically, I'll show you on the battery. We'll go over to the battery, and I'll show you guys. So my plan is right here. So I'll make a little strap that goes over the battery, and I got this rod here, threaded rod, and I'm going to make some studs that go up so they fit nice. And then I'm going to weld them down into the box, because the bottom, that's why that bottom plate's a little heavier. And then I'll be able to spin a nut on there. Then, what I was thinking just now in my brain, I'll just show you guys. But my original plan was to build something out here. That's why I shaped this weird, so that if you had a little stud here or something, it would look kind of like it belongs, like a boss almost. But now I'm thinking maybe I could still do that. I could make, well, no, because then posts would be kind of in the way. Ooh, don't touch them. Anyways, what I was thinking now is maybe if once I get this mounted, I could weld a stud to here. It sticks up, and then I could just put a wing nut on top, kind of in the center of that. I might have to maybe make the lid a little more rigid through the middle, put a brace to the middle or something, just so it doesn't, well, it wouldn't need much either though. Wouldn't need much, like, I'll just check here. I don't know if that made sense what I said, but if there was a stud, well, that's pretty tough. I might end up just doing that. So assuming that plate is across here, battery's bolted down, it has a stud that sticks up through the lid now, and then yeah, you just put a wing nut. This is a pretty rigid, once it's all boxed in, it's pretty rigid. I think I'm going to do that. And I'll measure, the stud will be offset so that it ends up centered. It'll look good. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That way it'll be kind of like a one-piece mount. Hold it down. So yeah, I actually like that idea. So anyways, I'm going to make this little plate here. I'm going to round the ends, drill some holes, figure out how long I need that rod. We'll cut some, and then we'll mount this, and then we'll figure out, yeah, then all I got to do is figure out what center is, and we'll get this son of a gun bolted in there. Anyways, that's the plan. I'll make that little plate. All I'm going to do is drill some holes in the ends of it, round it nice, make it look good, and then that's it. That's all I'm going to do with that, because that's hidden in the box anyways. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do for putting the lid down. But I really do like that idea, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, I want to show you guys what I did here. I just basically I measured with my rod here. You can see that fits. give or take. It fits. Just kidding. Just kidding. It fits. Anyways, yeah. So then I just welded them down real good to that base, and then what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna lower this battery in. There, gently, somewhere there, and we'll go ahead and put this on, and then we can put some nuts on it. I'm gonna drop it. Okay, anyways, I'll put both nuts on, and then, well, I don't really even have to actually, but I can, and I'll put some little lock washers or something just to hold that tight. But now, what I can do is, I'll get my handy straight edge, and we'll go ahead and straight edge this. Basically, just like that'll be good enough, like that, and I will measure like that. So we got about 1.5 inches. So if I put 2 inches sticking up, I'll measure center all ways, and 2 inches up, and that'll stick through that lid just a little bit. I could always trim that a little if I'd like, and then maybe I'll make some kind of wing nut or something nice to put on there anyways. But yeah, and then if I drill center through the lid, my lid's up there, drill center through that, and we should be in business. So 2 inches, I said, right? I believe. Yeah, and that leaves me 1/2 inch. That leaves me a 1/2 inch to put something on top. And again, I'll say it again, I could trim that if I have to. So anyways, that's the plan. I'll go ahead and measure where center is and just tack it down, or I'll mark this and then tack it later or whatever, or after, but it should be good. I'll go grab a bolt, and we'll be and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so I got a 2 inch. I'm just going to go with a 5/16. And it doesn't really matter, but what I'm going to do is, I stuck it in my vise, or in my drill press here. I'm going to go ahead and use my, turn this on. I could probably do it here. Just grind away at that, just to make that a nice rounded end. That'll just look a little nicer once you install it. So that's what I'll do. I'll get this out of here, and we'll go measure and tack it in there. All right, so let me show you where. There we go. So that's all I did, was I bolted this down. I welded it there. Don't worry, I didn't weld it with the battery. I took it out and welded it. I drilled a hole in the center of my lid, and there we go. That's a little long. I might end up trimming that down depending on what. Put a washer there, make it look good. Depending on what I decide to do for a keeper, but that'll do just. Where was I pointing the camera? Sorry about that. There we go. That'll do just fine. Anyways, yeah, really happy how this turned out. Let me get it up in the car to show you guys where it'll kind of look and how it'll look in there. And then, yeah, the only thing I got left to do is, that's it for tonight. But that's the only thing I got left to do for this is make some kind of little wing nut or something that looks good anyways. We'll do something. But yeah, super happy. Let me show you guys in the car what it'll look like. So that's about it. That's about where it's going to sit. Somewhere, it'd be nice to tuck it right in the corner or something, I was thinking, but I do need to be able to get the lid off and get that battery in there without fighting it too much and stuff. So it'll be something like that, give or take. And I might try to tuck it up farther up there. That still gives me room. It'd be awkward, but that still gives me room to get that battery in and stuff. But yeah, I'll probably tuck it up there. But and then it'll be mounted down with some nice button heads. So this trunk will look tidy. Really happy how that turned out, and not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but we'll be back out here after work tomorrow, and we'll be doing something for sure. So see you guys tomorrow. Okay, everyone, we're back out here again working on this whole Pontiac. I'll show you what I did. It's no big deal, but we'll show you here. I went ahead and decided exactly where I was going to put that battery box. So there, yeah, so you can see that's where that baby's going to live for the rest of its life. There's plenty of room. I mean, you have to climb in here kind of. It's probably going to be a little awkward to get that battery in and stuff, but how often do you how often do you change your battery anyway? So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do now is show you guys here. So you can kind of see this post right there, that post. And we got the same post here. So I'm going to build, my plan is to build up to the level of the seam in the doors. I'm going to build a piece. I'm going to build a piece that goes in there. I'll just get some cardboard, trace it out, see if I can get something built for that. And I need to do it. So that'll be a good little project to kind of work on here for a bit. And then the way they did it is actually quite interesting. It's just, I find some of this stuff real interesting, the way they did it. But anyways, I did go ahead and clean it up. But anyway, what they got going on is some kind of, I don't know what you call it. It's like paper, wood packed, real dense. They had cloth and everything. So I didn't tear it out. It was kind of gutted when I got it. But you could see the cardboard and the cloth and whatever. But it was all held in with nails. So basically this real dense material, they just hammered little nails into it. And it looks like it's held in with clips and stuff. You can kind of see there the little clips and stuff. So anyway, so that's all around here, all around the top. So I'm going to utilize that. And with these screws, the same screws and stuff that I got in the doors. So that's how I'm going to do that. So I'll build a piece, make sure I like it, make sure I like how it fits. We'll drill another 1,000 holes and yeah, basically just run them screws into that material. It's very, very dense. I think it'll work very well. Like the nails were hard to pull out, like real hard. Like I had to pliers and pry, so they were held. So it seems to do the trick, and it's already there. So I don't have to worry about. Not to mention, if you were to take that out, you'd have a cavity and you'd have to deal with something there. So anyways, that's the plan, and that's what I'm going to do. And we'll get at least a portion of these built, because then, so what I'm going to have to do later too is I'll build these things that go down, kind of sitting in the way. I'll build them down. I'm not exactly sure how I'll do it for here, but we'll kind of build a nice little piece. But then I have to build some little trim pieces to hold that carpet down on the edge. I can show you guys roughly, similar to what I've kind of built for this truck. You can see I got the little trim pieces down there for the to cover the edge of the carpet and to hold it secure and all that good stuff. So anyways, I'll start by building those pieces we were talking about there a second ago. So this is my template here. I did hold it up to both sides, and it's plenty close. I'm also trusting General Motors that they made that thing symmetrical. So, but I did hold it up, and it looks like it's they're pretty much exact same. So I'll go cut 2 of them out of that same aluminum that I used for the door panels and stuff. We'll cut a bit of that out, 2 of these, and we'll see what we can do about getting them mounted in there, making them look good. And then I did decide to flare this out, so I'll put it in the bender, and we'll once we get that other piece, we'll make it fit that contour at the bottom, and this will actually just go over top too and act like the connection to the floor. And then we can build our little, whatever you want to call them, our little sill plate carpet things. Carpet hold down, whatever you want to call them things. We'll build them after to kind of match, up to this. I think 2 inches I decided. 2 inches wide down there will be plenty lots. Give you lots of room to do what you want to do, if you want to bead roll it or I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But to do something that'll look good. Anyway, so let's get these cut out of some aluminum. Okay, I got these suckers cut out. This one I got to clean up yet, but I'll do that later. That's no big deal. But here's the passenger side. That's the side I've been working on. So what I got to do is you can see how this is all kind of bent. That's about where, that's exactly where the bend has to be for the floor. But then here, you can see that slight bend. I got to make that fit that little curve. There's a little curve there. So I think I'm going to start by making that bend. I won't go full 90 degrees because this little bend will just straighten it out a little more. But I have to try to, this bend here, I have to try to make I'm going to make it a little as rounded as I can, just to kind of fit that as close as I can. You won't really, I don't think you really notice it that much, but I'll try to make it fit that little rounded portion the best I can. So I love my bender sitting here, so that's good. I'll go ahead and get it rigged up and put a couple little bends in this baby and see how it fits. And if it all works out good, we'll get this mounted, and then I'll have to whip up the other one, but that's no big deal then. It just takes a little time. All right, so here's the little bend I put in that. No big deal. I'll show you guys what the plan is. So you can kind of see that little fella sits like that. We'll just tuck him down nice. I just wanted to show you guys this, and I'm not going to finish off this yet because I do have to build these base plates. So they're probably gonna lap over or something. So then that'll tell me how I need to finish this, and this will all get attached to the floor as well. But what I can do now, though, is I can go ahead and drill all the holes, attach it to the car. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I like how it all works. We'll get that other one done and get these in here. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in from the edges 3/8 of an inch, and that gets me kind of to the inside of the. Well, I'll go hold these little buttons up too because I'm going to use these same kind of buttons. So I'll go hold them up and see how it works. But anyways, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8 kind of keeps me in roughly the middle of this whatever you want to call it, that they attach the interior with. So, but yeah, so we'll go do that and we'll get these babies in here. All right, so yeah, so 3/8 it is. So I'm gonna go with 3/8 in. I'm gonna go both sides, and I'm gonna keep with the theme of 2-inch spacing. And we're gonna use these little fellas and the same kind of screws that are in that in the door panel. So yeah, let's take a little time, lay these babies out. Double check how close I can get down into that. Kind of want these bottom ones to be as low as I can kind of get them. So just going to double check that. Be right back. Yeah, heck yeah. So I can get right down into that corner because that stuff goes right down to this bend here. You guys probably can't see that very good, but it goes right down into that bend, so I can keep these really nice and symmetrical right in those corners. So that'll be the plan. So basically go 3/8 in and 3/8 up from that. That'll be the center for the first one. And then just whammo, we'll go 2 inches all the way. That last ones will leave because the top piece, whatever I do there, will kind of cover just like the door panels. And then that'll tie that together with the top half. So let's get this going here. There, we got a baseline, so we'll just make marks at every 2 inches, and then we're laughing. And then yeah, that puts us right just where the next one, so the 2 inches will continue. I like it. We're good. There we go. We'll go ahead and drill them, and then we'll see how this looks. If we like this one, we'll just duplicate it, right? Easy peasy. All right, everyone, I went ahead and got this one installed. Come to the old driver's side here so I can show you guys. Pretty happy how it turned out. So you can see there, I think it looks really good. If it looks unfinished, well, that's because it is. You got to keep in mind that above it, there will be a piece as well that kind of ties into the top of the, to the top of the doors by the windows there. And then also to the carpet will be, and then those sill plates will kind of finish that off real nice too. But anyways, like I said, I think it looks tough and it really does finish off that portion of it. So we'll go ahead and get this side done. I also have absolutely zero concerns about putting them into this material. This is actually not a terrible idea, especially for this, for this kind of application where things are random, where it's not factory clips or whatever the case may be. Because I don't know, that's very hard stuff. And it wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't hard to put the screws in, but the screws, like the drill works. I should show you guys, but I'll show you on this one maybe. But the drill works to put them in, and if you kept going, it might strip it, but it also might break the screw. That's kind of how good it holds. So super happy with that. So anyways, we'll get this one whipped up and we'll get it put in, and I'll show you guys that too when we're done, because you know, it's looking good. We'll get this one in, and we'll show you guys that, and we'll see what else we can get, if we can get anything else done in the time I have here. There you can see it. Boom. I got this fella. We already talked about that. Nice look at it. And yeah, really happy how this is coming along. Keep working away. I do have to, I'm getting snowed in here. The wind has been blowing and stuff, and I'll show you guys here. We're getting really, you know, really drifted in and stuff. So I gotta go plow some snow. So plugged my tractor in a little while ago, so it should be, I'll plug that little baby in. She won't start. Anyways, I got that little fella plugged in, so it should start here soon, and we'll get plowing some snow. I got my driveway and stuff done. So there's a lot more snow out there than I thought, and it was cold. So what that means is I am done for this video. I got a couple more things crossed off the old list. It's going, and I am waiting for some parts. So once I got some more parts, will show up here shortly, and that'll keep us going too. Keep the progress going on this old car. Like I said, I'll probably said it a million times, but happy how it's turning out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.